Saturday at Yankee Stadium. Fritz Peterson is continuing his warm-up tosses, and while he does, let's take a look at the starting lineups here for the New York Yankees. Horace Clarke will lead off and play second base. Roy White will be the left fielder. He'll bat second. Mickey Mantle in this first game will play at first base, and he'll hit third. Joe Pepitone will bat cleanup and play center field. Andy Kosco, who's been suffering from a groin injury in his right side, has decided to play in this ball game. There was some question about it, but he will be in the lineup playing right field and batting fifth. Tommy Tresh is the shortstop. He'll hit sixth. Jake Gibbs will be the catcher, batting seventh. Bobby Cox at third base, hitting eighth, and Fritz Peterson will be pitching and batting ninth. For the Detroit Tigers, who have won the first two ball games in this four-game set, leading off and playing second base, Dick McAuliffe. The center fielder and batting second, Mickey Stanley. Jim Northrup will be in right field, hitting third. Willie Horton, with 15 home runs, and he's hit 2 in the last 2 games against the Yankees, will bat cleanup, and he'll be in left field. Bill Freehan, as you heard manager Mayo Smith mention, will be at first base. He'll be batting fifth. Jim Price will do the catching, and he'll hit sixth. Batting seventh and playing third base in place of the injured Don Wirt will be Dick Tracewski. Don Wirt is out with muscle spasms in his back. Ray Oyler will be the shortstop. He'll bat eighth, and Denny McLain will be pitching and batting ninth. The umpires have come out of the Tiger dugout. Mayo Smith is out there. Here comes manager Ralph Houck, who missed yesterday's game. Ralph was at Trinity Pauling Prep School, where his son graduated, and that's the only game he has ever missed as a manager in the minor leagues and the major leagues. While we're waiting for the umpires and the managers to go over the ground rules, right now we remind you it's New York Yankee baseball. We pause for station identification. From Detroit, the Yankees and the Tigers, a big doubleheader. It'll be Clarke, White, and Mantle starting off for the Yankees in this first inning of the first ball game. Frank Crissetti heading toward third base. He'll be coaching for the Yankees, as he has since 1949. Whitey Ford in his first year as a coach, moving out to first base and having a little chat with Bill Freehan en route. Bill Freehan playing first base. There's an all-star catcher who can do it all, but what manager Mayo Smith wants most of all is that big bat in there. All right, Horace Clarke stepping right in there. Clarke batting at .218, no extra base hits and 4 RBIs. He'll be from the left side against the right-handed McLain, and the first pitch is popped up over our heads out of place, strike one. The ball game is underway. Horace Clarke, the second baseman, and Tommy Tresh, the shortstop, got mixed up on a cover sign yesterday on an attempted steal. The ball went into center field, and that was the game that did it. There's a line drive into center field. Base hit for Horace Clarke. Incidentally, Jake Gibbs got the error on the throw that really split second base, and it was a tough error for Gibbs to get. It led to the winning run. So Clarke is on at first base, a line single to center. Here's Roy White. White batting at .285 with 4 home runs and 15 RBIs. Throw to first, and Clarke is back. McLain, 8-1 on the year. Boy, he has had some kind of year. Another throw to first, and Clarke is back. They know that Clarke will run, although he's only got 4 stolen bases. He will run when he gets the chance. The pitch to White is high, ball one. Jim Price, the catcher. He'll be doing the work behind the plate with Bill Freehan at first base. Denny McLain, born in Chicago, Illinois, comes set. The pitch on the way to White. He swings and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. McLain has had some big years for Detroit. The last 3, he's won 16, 20, and 17 games. Throw to first again. Clarke is right on the bag. McLain is 1-0 against the Yankees this year, 8-4 lifetime. He's been a tough man for the Yanks. Here's a pitch to White. He swings through it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Roy White, a switch hitter, as is Clarke, as is Mantle. The Yankees have 4 switch hitters in their lineup, including Tommy Tresh. Dennis McLain sets. Here's the 1-2 pitch. White fouls it back over the roof, hitting the light standard and then kicking off on top of the roof there. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Clarke at first. Ball game just getting underway. First game of a doubleheader. The Yankees lost Friday night 1-0. Mel Stottlemyre taking the loss, and 5-4 yesterday. 2 tough ball games. Okay, McLain to White. Change up. He fouls it at the plate, and it holds at 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Detroit Tigers in first place in the American League, 3.5 games in front of the Orioles, 4 ahead of the Indians, 5.5 ahead of the Twins, followed by Boston, Oakland, California, and the Yankees tied for 8th place, Chicago, and then Washington. There's a ground ball to his left. Tracewski flips to second for 1. No chance by McAuliffe to get White, who went down that line. Fine play by Dick Tracewski, and a good jumping act by Dick McAuliffe to get out of the way of the sliding Horace Clarke. Clarke forced at second on the play that went 5-4, third to second. Now Mickey Mantle stepping in there. Mantle batting at .250. 6 home runs and 15 RBIs. Mickey, 524 lifetime homers. White, who leads the Yankees in stolen bases, on at first base. He's got 9. The pitch to the Mick is on the ground, up the middle, base hit. White around second. He'll get to third base, and Mantle is in with a single. So the Yankees, with runners at first and third, are threatening here in the top of the first inning as Joe Pepitone comes on. Line single by Clarke, a bouncing single by Mantle. The Yankees with runners at first and third, only 1 out. Pepitone the batter. Joe hitting at .275, 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. Dennis McLain, claimed by the Tigers as a first-year player in the draft from the White Sox back in 1963, and has he paid off. Here's the first pitch to Pepe. Dribbled out in front of the plate. Price is up with it. Everybody holds except Mantle, who goes down to second base. And we have 2 down. White could not come in. The ball was hit only about 10 feet in front of the plate. Jim Price was out there after it, got it, looked at White, who had to stay there, and then he fired to Bill Freehan to get Pepitone. On the play, Mantle went to second. So the Yankees now with runners at second and third and 2 out. And here's Andy Kosco, who was a questionable player before the game got underway. His right groin is strained, and these are things that can be very severe because there's no way you can tape them. They're in an area that they can't be taped. Although Andy is taped in the lower part of his leg, the real painful part is in the groin area running up the side of his right hip. But he feels that he can make it anyway, and Ralph Houck wanted that big bat, which is peaking at a .291 clip right now. 6 homers, 25 RBIs. Runners at second and third. The pitch to Kosco is a sidearm fastball missing outside for a ball. Well, the Indians 4-0 over the Senators in the second inning. Baltimore leading Boston 3-1 in the second. The only scores we have in the American League right now. We're in the top of the first with the Yankees threatening 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Dennis McLain, the right-hander to Kosco. Ground ball in the hole. Oyler has it. A long throw is in time. A nice play by Ray Oyler. Well, Ray Oyler saves Dennis McLain there for the Yankees. No runs. 2 base hits. 2 men left. And the score after a half inning of play, Yanks nothing, Detroit coming to bat. Fritz Peterson is on the mound for the Yankees. His record 2-2. He's 0-1 against the Tigers in 1968, and 2-2 lifetime. Fritz 22-27, his complete record lifetime in the major leagues. Taking his warm-up tosses, he'll be going up against Dick McAuliffe, Mickey Stanley, and Jim Northrup. Dick McAuliffe, deceptively powerful ball player. He, along with Ted Williams, Norm Cash, Don Mincher, Mickey Mantle, have hit home runs on top of the roof in right field. Harmon Killebrew, and this year Frank Howard, they've done it over the left field roof. But Dick McAuliffe, when you look at him, very deceptive. He's not a big man, but in the last, well, say 7 years, in part of a year with Detroit, he had 6 home runs and 12, 13, 24, 15, 23, and 22 last year. Chokes up in the bat, left-hand batter, hits the first pitch sharply to center field for a base hit. It was a curveball. It was hung up in his eyes. Dick McAuliffe opens up with a line single to center. Well hit, just as Horace Clarke hit his. And here's Mickey Stanley. A lot of these Tiger ball players were out early working with Wally Moses, who's coaching at first base and also is the Detroit hitting coach. They were out here working against Iron Mike, the machine who throws the balls up there automatically. Jim Northrup, Stanley, McAuliffe, all out here working on their swings. All right, Stanley waiting. McAuliffe at first. The pitch to Mickey is hit into right center field. It's got some mustard way back there. Kosco moving on. He's under. That ball well hit, almost 380 feet out there. But Kosco had time and got under the ball for the putout. So we've had 2 pitches, a single, and a fly ball. 1 out. A runner at first, Jim Northrup. McAuliffe was batting at 212 and Stanley at 252. And now here is Northrup hitting at 250 with 7 homers and 21 RBIs. He can unload every now and then. He's not a pull hitter. He'll hit the ball a lot to the opposite field, but he can reach the seats and rights. The pitch to McAuliffe, to Northrup, swings and misses, strike 1. No score in the game. Bottom of the first inning. A lot of cloud cover. I guess you'd call it scattered clouds. Puffy white ones. But a very warm, pleasant afternoon here in Detroit. All right, McAuliffe moving off first. Northrup at the plate. Peterson set. Here it comes. Fastball misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tresh and Clarke at short and second are at double play depth. Bobby Cox in tight at third. Mantle holding against McAuliffe at first. Detroit 3.5 games in front in the American League. Northrup waiting. Peterson set. Checks McAuliffe. The pitch to Northrup. Hard hit. Clarke, 1 hop. Flips to Tresh for 1. Throw to first. Double play. Taylor-made double play. But Jim Northrup hit the ball solidly directly to Horace Clarke. Play going 4-6-3. The Tigers are out of there. No runs, a base hit, nobody left, and the score after 1. Yanks nothing and Detroit nothing. Okay, and speaking of Tommy Tresh, here he is. Coming up there. We're in the top of the second inning. The pitch to Tresh is in there for strike 1. We might mention that this is in no way to pin the blame about anything on anyone. It's just that Gibbs made a perfect throw yesterday to get Northrup, and because of the misunderstanding between Clarke and Tresh, it sailed into center field. And the error was charged to Gibbs, and yet the official ruling contends that it should have gone to one of the fielders. I believe that was Jake Gibbs' first error of the year, and that's why we were bringing it up at this point. It's strike 2 to Tommy Tresh now as McLain delivers, and Tom hits one on the end of the bat to left field, a base hit. Willie Horton coming in. Tresh around first and holds on. Willie Horton does not run too well. He's had those bad ankles. And Tommy had ideas of maybe stretching it into a double, but he pulled up. So a leadoff single for Tresh, and here's Jake Gibbs. Tommy was batting at 157 with 2 home runs and 18 RBIs. Gibbs, a .230 hitter. No home runs, 11 RBIs. He's got 5 stolen bases. Possibly more than any other catcher in the American League, or in baseball for that matter. Catchers do not run too much. Gibbs, though, can hit up in the lineup. He's got speed. Jake swings at a fastball and misses, strike one. Second inning, no score. Dennis McLain and Fritz Peterson going at it. Gibbs hits one solidly to left center. It's extra bases. It's going to get through. Over there is the center fielder, Stanley, to cut it in. Tresh is going to try. Here's the relay, and he is out. A great throw by the shortstop, Ray Oyler, from the center fielder, Mickey Stanley, as Tommy Tresh tried to come all the way. On the play, Gibbs went all the way to third base, so he'll be given credit for a double. And he moved to third on the relay. But a beautiful relay from Stanley to Oyler to Price, and that was a strike that Oyler threw to Jimmy Price. Tresh was out a good 6 to 8 feet. One away. Gibbs at third base. Here's Bobby Cox. Cox hitting .231. He's starting to pick up. He's got 1 home run, 11 RBIs. Tiger infield halfway. The pitch is outside, a curveball. Ball one. I've often questioned the judgment in putting your infield halfway in a play like this, because a top ball will be hard to throw the runner out at third base if he has any speed at all. Occasionally, with no one out, you'll do it this way, simply because the runner at third will not try to break unless the ball is definitely through, but he may try to come in on this one. There's a ball hit on the fist. It's in the air. Backing up is the second baseman. He's got it. So it didn't make any difference as Cox pops up to Dick McAuliffe. And now here comes Fritz Peterson. Peterson looking for his first base hit. He's 0 for 9. He's got a few sprinkles, believe it or not. Sort of a little rain shower drifting over. A lot of clouds in the air, but a very pleasant day as Peterson takes high for ball one. Off in the distance, plenty of blue, plenty of sunshine. Right overhead, clouds. Curveball, and Fritz takes it. A big overhand curve, 1-1. Gibbs with 2 out at third base. Dennis McLain shooting for his 9th. McLain ready. Here's the pitch. It's on the ground to the shortstop Oyler. He's got it. Underhand flip is in time, and the side is retired. So Dennis McLain, who looked like he was in serious trouble, got out of it on a beautiful relay. And then he got Cox to pop up and Peterson to ground out. For the Yankees, no runs on 2 base hits, 1 man left, and the score after an inning and a half. The Yankees nothing and the Tigers nothing. Willie Horton got a big hand as he was announced. He'll be moving in there. Horton, what a year he's off to. 15 home runs, 31 RBIs, a .329 batting average, and only the phenomenal hitting of Frank Howard has put him in second place. Otherwise, it would be Horton who would be way out there. Willie Horton, right-hand batter, who had that operation on his left Achilles tendon in the offseason, still having some trouble with it, but nevertheless, not when it comes to swinging. The roar you heard was a ball that... this big doubleheader. The Tigers have not won a pennant since 1945. That's 23 years. Only the Oakland Athletics, an outgrowth of the old Philadelphia Athletics, have taken longer. Their last one, the Philadelphia A's won in 1931. All right, Fritz Peterson now going up against Willie Horton. Pete's first pitch, a changeup swung on a miss. Horton going for it all the way, way out in front. Mantle at first, Clarke at second, Tresh at short, Cox at third, well back, all playing deep, as is the outfield. And Pepitone shaded into the gap in left center. Fritz Peterson taking his time, checking Gibbs. Pete has the sign now. Here's the one-strike pitch to Horton. It's a fastball at the letter, swung on a miss. Strike two. So Fritz Peterson putting one up on the letters, out over the plate. Horton went for it and missed it. Pete ready again now as he gets the sign. He's out in front of Horton. Bottom of the second, no score in this ball game. Peterson ready. Here it comes to Horton. Swings and misses. Strike three. He got him. First strikeout for Peterson. Now Bill Freehan, the big catcher, is coming on. Freehan off to a fine start with 8 home runs and 29 RBIs, a .286 batter. Yankees return tonight. Play the Twins tomorrow night. First pitch to Freehan is high and outside, ball one. Harmon Killebrew, who can hit that ball a fair country mile, coming on with the Minnesota Twins, along with Tony Oliva, Dean Chance, Jim Cott. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Freehan. On the ground foul past Tony Cuccinella, who coaches at third base, and Wally Moses does the job at first. A heavy gray overcast to the right side of us, and beautiful blue skies to the left, but the field right now, no sunshine on the field at all. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Freehan. It's a fastball low and inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Bill Freehan, a graduate of the University of Michigan, up Ypsilanti way. He's a big guy. Straightaway stance, hangs right over that plate. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Hits it on the ground to Cox at third, who gobbles it up. Fires to Mickey, 2 down. Bobby Cox, anything he does is 100%. And then some. Real competitor. Don Word, as we mentioned, the regular third baseman for the Tigers, is not playing today. He has muscle spasms in his back. His manager, Mayo Smith, somewhat concerned because he said Word has a history of having these ailments afflict him from time to time, various things and unusual things that keep him out of the lineup. Jim Price, the catcher, batting at 150. He's only 3 for 20. Swings at a changeup and misses, strike 1. Price has not played too much, as you can see, and when you play behind a guy like Freehan, you don't get to play much. Price has no extra base hits, but he has 3 RBIs. He's a right-hand hitter, holds the bat a little off the end. Takes one outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Braves 2, Pirates nothing in the third. Cardinals and the Mets, no score on them as yet. Baltimore 3, Boston 1 in the third. Cleveland 4, Senators nothing in the second. Indians off and running. Changeup hit hard to Cox. He grabs it on a nice play. A one-hopper, flips it over to Mantle in time. That was a tough play for Bobby Cox. For Detroit, 3 up and 3 down, and the score, after 2 full innings of play, Yankees nothing and the Tigers nothing.
There are many classic sandwiches.
Cucumber and lightly buttered whole wheat.
Peanut butter and jelly.
But today there is only one sandwich which has captured the hearts of all sandwich lovers.
Carol's 3-decker Club Burger.
A toasted bun, a Carol's all-beef hamburger, catsup, pickle, onion, another bun, a slice of cheese, another burger, lettuce, and topped with Carol's very own royal dressing. That's Carol's Club Burger.
For very hungry people.
Remember the O'Flaherty?
Remember the Alamo.
Sure, it's the Alamo, but try and tell the O'Flaherty family it's theirs. One visit was all it took.
Actually, it belongs to all of us. This year, Discover America. It's all yours.
Including Schwartz's Falls. That's where Mrs. Schwartz and I spent our honeymoon.
So the greater New York area is well covered with ticket outlets for Yankee games. While we're waiting for Horace Clarke to step in, it's New York Yankee baseball. Let's pause for station identification.
Bill Edwardson here twice a day, 7 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon.
Here on WGY 10 on your dial, Schenectady.
Horace Clarke has just taken strike one right down the middle from Dennis McLain, and that's as it stands right now, as there's a brief shower starting to come right now. There's a fastball low to Clarke. It's 1-1. Good thing I'm not a gambling man and gambled on the weather this morning, because I would have bet $100 to a donut that we would not have seen rain today, but there is a slight drizzle. There's a dribbler out toward the mound as McLain is up with it easily. Flips over to Freehan. 1 away. 1 up, 1 down. Now coming on is Roy White. White hit into a forced play in the first inning. No score in this ball game. We're in the top of the third. McAuliffe has stepped off the rubber and is back on the grass, getting things organized. The pitch to White is a little bit high, ball 1. White choking way up in that bat left-handed. He's a good 5 or 6 inches off the end. Realize it doesn't give him much hitting surface, but he gets a piece of it and fouls it back. 1-1. McLain, if he keeps the ball up, will be doing White a favor. Men that choke up as drastically as White does do not like the low pitching. Here's the 1-1 delivery, and that ball drives him off the plate. It's inside, 2-1. Might have heard a slight ripple of applause as the sun suddenly came out here. And whatever weather we're having today, apparently, with the wind blowing strongly, it'll be mixed. 2 balls and 2 strikes now as White fouls one back on the screen, just off to our right. Dick McAuliffe is playing White dangerously. He's back on the grass against White, who's a very fast man. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's high, 3-2. Most infielders shorten up with White up there, but McAuliffe is a good 3 feet back on the grass, playing him a little towards second, not straight away. Payoff pitch to Roy. Swings and misses. He struck him out, and that's the first strikeout for Dennis McLain. Mickey Mantle, who singled to center field, is stepping in now. Every time Mantle comes to the plate, you expect it. Fastball is high and tight. Ball 1. There's a sign right at the base of the foul line in right field. It says 325, and when Mantle hits his next one, it'll be 525. There's a high pop left side. Tracewski in foul territory is under this one, easily waiting, and makes the play. And the side is retired. It's 3 up and 3 down for the Yankees in the third, and the score after 2.5. Yankees nothing and Detroit nothing.
You know, weekends can turn into the busiest time of the week.
That's the time you shop and do necessary household chores. But let's face it, weekends should be a time for the whole family to be together, a time to relax and enjoy yourself. This weekend, for example, why not load the family into the car and take off on an Atlantic Weekender tour to one of the interesting destinations in Atlantic's free Weekender tour guides. In case you're not familiar with the tour guides, let me tell you about them. They're more than just trips. These one-day and weekend planned tours to nearby exciting and unusual locations not only tell you how to get there, but they point out what to see on the way and what to do once you arrive. These Weekender tour guides are free, of course. Just stop in at any Atlantic station and ask for one. And while you're there, fill up with Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans the throttle plate area of your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean. You'll find the going's great when you travel the Imperial Road with Atlantic Imperial, the clean carburetor gasoline.
Right after this half inning, we'll be on to bring you up to date on all the action in both the American and the National League, and the scores are starting to mount. The board lighting up. Big scoreboard right over the center field bleachers. Dick Tracewski is waiting, and the first ball by Peterson is hit to Clarke. It's on the ground. He's got it to Mantle, one away. One pitch, one out. Tracewski came into this ball game batting .158, 6 for 38. Ray Oyler. Boy, those last four hitters for Detroit. Price at .150, Tracewski .158, Oyler .164, and the pitcher at .167. Gives you almost half a hitting lineup. Ray Oyler, fine defensive shortstop. Check swing foul. Couldn't get his bat out of the way. Peterson throwing up a curveball. Now an exchange of a couple of baseballs before Pete gets one that he likes. Defense shading Oyler to pull. Oyler has one of those uppercut swings, and it's not a smooth level cut. That's one of the reasons why he misses the ball so much. There's a high fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Peterson. Wind still blowing from left to right, favoring the left-hand batter. Anything hit high in the air toward left will be held up by the wind. It's got to be low and hard. There's a fastball on the corner to Oyler. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yankee bullpen down the right field side. Tiger bullpen down the left field side. They stood in sort of a trenched pillbox effect down there. Enclosed and covered. The 1-2 delivery hit on the ground, foul just off to the left of the Tiger dugout, and then kicking off down the line and left. Ray Oyler, who wears that protective guard over the left side of his face. That's the one that so many people wish that Tony Conigliaro had on when he was beamed by Jack Hamilton. The 1-2 delivery on the way. Oyler bunts it, and it's foul. He's out of there. Ray Oyler gambling on trying to beat out a 2-strike bunt. It went foul, so he's out automatically, and that'll go as a strikeout for Peterson. Second strikeout for Fritz, and here's the pitcher, Dennis McLain. McLain, if you recall, was the guy who ripped the Tiger fans, and even with it all, they're giving him a hand. This is only his second start since that outburst came. He takes a care of the tie. Ball 1. And talking to Dennis before the game, he said, well, the only game that I lost and I really got bombed was right here in Detroit after I made that comment. There's one, hit to center field. Pretty good. Pepitone backing up. It's sinking, and he takes it. That ball was a high fly that sunk, and Pepitone got under it to put it away. 3 up and 3 down. So Peterson has gone through the Detroit lineup in order through the first 3 innings. And the score after 3 full innings of play, the Yanks nothing and the Tigers nothing.
special glass of beer.
Take a ring, and then another ring, and then another ring, and then you've got 3 rings Valentine. And now it's premium, it's a very special glass of beer.
Valentine Premium. Premium ingredients, premium brew, for crisp, light, premium flavor. Something you just don't get from just any beer.
Valentine, and now it's premium, it's a very special glass of beer.
WGY Schenectady.
Right here as Joe Pepitone steps in the top of the 4th. No score. It'll be Pepitone, Kosco, and Tresh for the Yankees facing Dennis McLain, and the lights have come on here at Tiger Stadium. Rather a rude jolt to what looked to be a perfect day. There's a pop-up behind the plate. Price has a shot at it, and drops it. He was right at the railing. It kicked off his glove and then onto the railing. He had it all the way, but apparently it didn't reach out quite far enough. It hit the tip of his glove and then kicked into the screen there, and Pepitone gets a new life. And let's see if they charge Price with an error on that one. We're looking on the board. We'll wait and see. I guess the official scorer is debating that one. There's a high pop again. Price coming back to the right side, and this one is into the stands, out of play. Strike 2. Well, as of now, Price was not charged with an error, although he was waiting for the ball as it came down, and it just kicked off his glove. Now they are charging Price with an error. All right, the pitch to Pepe, lined over the glove of Dick McAuliffe, just missing it, and Pepitone turns it in. So we'll see whether or not that will be a faithful play as far as Jim Price and the Tigers are concerned. Here's Andy Kosco, who bounced to short in the first. Pepitone, in his first at-bat, dribbled one out in front of the plate. It was picked up by Price, and he was thrown out at first. Andy Kosco, playing with the injured groin, standing in there waiting as McLain delivers a one-hopper to Tracewski at third, fires to second for one, throw to first, double play around the horn, and that's about as tough as you can make it. One thing, though, that helped Detroit on that one was the fact that Kosco is hampered in his running. That was a high hopper that Tracewski caught just behind third. He fired to McAuliffe back to first for the twin bill. Around the horn and about as far as you could make it. So there are 2 out, nobody on, and here's Tommy Tresh, who singled to right in the second and then was out attempting to score on the double by Gibbs. He takes ball 1. Ball 1 to Tommy Tresh. McLain ready. He works rapidly. Change-up swung on a miss. 1-1. A beauty. Dennis McLain, for those of you who may not be aware of it, is the son-in-law of Lou Boudreau, great shortstop for the Cleveland Indians for so many years. There's a curveball in there. Asked McLain if he and his father-in-law ever got into any baseball arguments. He said, "Why try?" That's just what he said. Why try? Lou, of course, one of the all-time greats. There's a curveball inside. Tommy Tresh, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dennis McLain making his 12th start. And Detroit has won 10 of the 11 games that he started up to this one. Curveball is fouled off. Tresh out in front of that change-up curveball, and that's what he's getting. Detroit putting some daylight between the rest of the league. They lead by 3.5 over in the National, a virtual tie for first place between the Cardinals, the Braves, and the Giants. Philadelphia 1 game back. Cubs a 1.5 games out. There's a drive to right field, and McLain threw that curveball just once too often as Tresh drills it to right. Second base hit for Tommy. Now here's Jake Gibbs, who hit that double in the gap in left center. Tresh tried to score all the way from first, was thrown out on a beautiful relay from Stanley to the shortstop Oyler to Jim Price. Fourth inning. 2 outs. A runner at first base, Tommy Tresh. Tresh has 3 stolen bases. And now a new baseball is thrown in. Bill Kinnaman, plate umpire. Dennis McLain moving right along. The pitch to Jake is outside, a sinker that missed. The center fielder, Stanley, has moved over a little bit into that gap where Gibbs hit the ball last time out. The 1-0 pitch, curveball, bounces on the dirt. A nice stop by Price. Tigers have 1 base hit, and the Yankees have 6. But thus far, the Yankees have not been able to get them at the right time. Big Earl Wilson is injured. There goes Tresh as Gibbs takes the ball. And look at that Price. And called safe at second base is Tresh and Oyler. And Hank Soar really having it out. Oyler thought he had him. That Price fired one, a bullet, but it was to the left of second base, giving Tresh a chance for the plate. And Oyler is still upset about that one. So Tommy Tresh gets his 4th stolen base and moves into scoring position. Now Gibbs with a chance to drive in a man. Gibbs took that pitch all the way. In fact, he squared around and bunted through the ball to try to hold Price back. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Jake. Curveball hit the left side. Slicing. Foul. Way back there into the lower deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Oyler and Soar still discussing that one. I tell you, that Oyler keeps it up. He'll find himself watching this game from the bench. Umpires will take just so much, and then that'll be it. All right, Gibbs waiting. McLain steps off the rubber and takes Tresh back at second. Gibbs waiting again. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball hit the left center, the same spot. Tresh will come in on this one. Gibbs on his way to second base, and he's got his second double, and the Yankees lead 1-0. So, Jake Gibbs with his second double, driving in Tommy Tresh, and the Yankees go out in front 1-0. That's the 7th Yankee base hit. Dennis McLain has struck out 1 batter. He hasn't walked anybody. The Yankees have been getting to him. Now here's Bobby Cox. Hits one high in the air, short left center. Coming on is Stanley. The wind has this moving it back to center field a little bit, and the side is retired. For the Yankees, 1 run on 3 base hits. 1 Detroit error, 1 man left, and the score after 3.5 innings of play: Yankees 1, Detroit nothing. Getting a lot of wind and what appears to be a lot of rain over here behind that right field fence. And Sandy Alper says a little lightning. Well, that means Phil Rizzuto will be on his way shortly. You know, Phil is honest about it. None of us like to sit out here with that lightning cracking around. But you can see the rain dripping down from the clouds just over the right field fence there. Looks like long streamers or smears of paint on a canvas in a darker gray than the rest of the sky. When it comes this way, it's going to be wet around here. All right, stepping in now, the top batter, Dick McAuliffe, waiting. Peterson delivers, ball one. McAuliffe has the only Detroit hit, single to center field to open the ball game in the first, and then was out on a double play. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Peterson delivers this one, and it's 1-1. Curveball got the corner. And here comes that rain that we talked about, and we don't have too much cover here, so I'm going to move back a step or two. Otherwise, we're going to be a little bit wet. The 1-1 delivery and a ground ball to Mantle at first. He's up with it. I'll make the play unassisted. One away. So far, and I don't want to put the hex on Fritz, this is far and away the best outing he's had. All right, here's Mickey Stanley, who flied to center field. He's 0 for 1. The one thing about the weather here, anything that happens, it looks as though they'll just be passing showers. Doesn't look like there's any broad front or any real heavy rain in the area. It looks like there may be some scattered thunder showers, though. There's a check swing bouncer down the third base side foul. Cox is up with it. And it's a 1-strike count to Mickey Stanley. Stanley getting a golden opportunity to play with Al Kaline with that broken right forearm. Always in this game, one man's misfortune is another man's good fortune. Well, it's really coming in here now. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Stanley almost got hit in the toe. 1-1. Have to have windshield wipers for my glasses. How do you like that? Rain. What a beautiful morning, too. There's a foul off right side by Stanley. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And now it's really coming down. And the people that are exposed are heading back so that they won't be exposed. Sort of a swirling rain, starts and stops. Not heavy, but enough to chase a few people out. All right, Peterson, here's the 1-2 pitch to Stanley. Foul, left side, past Cuccinella. Cox is over there after it and lets it go. Incidentally, for those of you who haven't received your Yankee yearbook, you can do it by coming to the stadium and visiting one of the concession stands or ordering it by mail. It's 75 cents at Yankee Stadium, and if you order by mail, it'll cost $1, the extra charge for mailing and handling. Here's the 1-2 pitch now to Mickey Stanley, and it's hard hit to the shortstop, Tommy Tresh. Gobbles it up. Over to Mickey. 2 down. 2 up and 2 down. That'll bring up Jim Northrup, who hit a 1-hopper into a double play in the first inning. Incidentally, if you want to order that Yankee yearbook, just write to Yankee Yearbook, Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York. Enclosed, $1 check, money order, and you'll get your yearbook. All right, Northrup waiting as Peterson delivers just outside. Ball 1. Joe Pepitone, dead center field. Northrup can hit the ball and hit it hard into the gap, either into right or left, depending on a fastball or a curve. There's a fastball hit into that gap in left center field. Pepitone drifting back, but the wind is holding it up. Now he comes in and makes the play. 3 up and 3 down, and the score after 4 full innings of play as the sun pops out. New York 1, Detroit nothing, and this ball game is sizzling right along.
Hi, fans. I want you to meet a friend of mine, the Whiteout Girl. You know, I've been expecting you.
Of course. You always find me with a man.
Tell me something, then. Are there any rules in baseball you'd like to see changed?
I think we ought to change the 7th-inning stretch.
How do you mean?
Instead of stretching, everyone lights up a whiteout. A white owl's more relaxing, soothing. The tobacco does it. It's aged slowly, mellowed longer.
But the seventh inning stretch is a tradition.
So are white owl cigars. You see them everywhere. The stands are filled with them today. Just look around at all the reindeer, Invincible, and Northrup. They're everywhere. The seventh inning white owl. I think I'll write the commissioner about it today. Just think. All those men at the same time finding out you get a lot more from a white owl than just smoke.
Fritz Peterson will lead off for the Yankees in the top of the fifth inning. They're leading 1-0. They got their run in the fourth. With 2 outs, Tresh singled and scored on Gibbs' second double of the afternoon, and that's for Gibbs. His 12th RBI. Peterson, from Dennis McLain, takes strike 1. Peterson bounces short in the second. McLain sets, delivers, and it's in there. Strike 2. Dennis McLain starts just one upswing. Doesn't have a big windup. A curve is fouled off. Fritz Peterson, no balls, 2 strikes. He doesn't swing both arms when he goes into what is really a modified windup. He just holds his hand and glove right at his belt, then swings his hand up over his head, and here it comes. There's a drive to right field. Well hit. Northrup started in, had to go back, and one-hands it, backing up on the track. Peterson got good word of the ball. I'd have to say that McLain has been tattooed pretty good, even though the Yankees have only 1 run. Got 7 base hits. And that ball by Peterson, one of the hardest he's hit. Here's Horace Clarke, single to center. Bounce to the pitcher. McLain's most effective pitch today has not been his fastball, which usually is. It's been that change-up breaking pitch. McLain to Clarke. He takes outside. Started a bunt. Ball 1. McLain again. Clarke hits this one to left center field. Stanley on the move is right there to make the play. He was playing in good position for Horace Clarke. Had moved over there, and the ball hit right to him as he moved after it to his right. Roy White. White hit into a forced play and struck out. The first pitch to White is fouled off over our heads and out of play into the stand. We still have the same conditions we had before. Half the sky is dark cloud, the other half bright blue. There's a ground ball foul, a change-up curve to Whitey Ford at first. Who's up with it? Fires it to McLain. Ford has really been having a ball throwing batting practice. Does it most days. Here's the 2-strike pitch. The curve is low. That was a hard curve ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McLain 67 and 43. That's his lifetime record. Dennis ready again. The 1-2 pitch to White. He hits it to right field, high in the air. Moving after it is Northrup in foul territory. He's under it, makes the play. 3 up and 3 down on the score after 4.5. Yankees 1 and Detroit nothing.
Want to get away from it all? If you're looking for new, exciting places to visit, you don't have to cross the ocean or hop a jet. You don't have to, because only a few miles from your home, there are many exciting and interesting places to see and visit. Places that you may have talked about,
but never actually seen.
Dad! Look at that fort. It's just like the one in our book. I never knew it was so close to our home. Let's go over to the big book.
Now your Atlantic dealer has made it easy for you. Atlantic has planned exciting trips and easy drive from your home. These fun trips are available in Atlantic's free weekender tour guides. They actually tell you where to go, how to get there, and what to see on the way. It's the easiest way to travel yet. Have a good trip.
Well, the Yankees go into the bottom of the fifth inning, leading 1-0. They've got 7 base hits, Detroit with 1, and coming on right now to carry it down to the wire, and another tight one is the scooter, Phil Rizzuto. Philip?
All right, Jerry, thank you very much. We've got an unusual day here today. It started out bright, sunshiny, then some rain came, some dark clouds. Now, sun shining again, and you hear all that noise for Willie Horton. Willie struck out his first time up. But he's having quite a year, this young man. 15 homers, 31 runs batted in, hitting .329. Has a 14-game hitting streak going, which is the tops for any Tiger hitter. Art Peterson into the windup. Changeup, bounce to third base. Cox in, one-hands it. Fires the Mantle in time. And you can see Horton limping down to first base. He's had that bad heel, which hasn't healed up well. One away. And the batter, Bill Freehan. Freehan bounced to third his first time up. So Fritz Peterson is making his first start since May the 2nd. Freehan, who had 3 RBIs yesterday, including the game-winning RBI, takes the ball outside, ball 1. The Tiger defense has been fantastic today. The Yankees with 7 hits but only 1 run. Double plays and a fine relay from Stanley to Oyler to Price to nip Tresh trying to score on Gibbs' double. The only thing has held the score down. Drive to deep center. Pepitone turns, running way back, and makes the catch in front of the 440-foot sign in straightaway center field. The deepest part of this ballpark. And that's the only thing that saved that ball from going out of the park. And right now on New York Yankee Baseball, we pause for station identification.
Harry Downey asking you to join me weekdays, 3 to 6 p.m. here on WGY 810 on your dial, Schenectady.
Jimmy Price, who bounced to third in the 2nd inning, up there now, takes a curve low and inside, ball 1. The wind is blowing from left field to right field. It's favoring the left-hand hitters today for the first time in this series. Peterson's pitch is lined to left field, coming on Roy White, and makes the running catch. So that was the hardest Peterson was hit, but he still got them out 1, 2, 3. And the score now, at the end of 5 full innings, the Yankees 1, the Tigers 0.
We're conducting a survey since this is an election year. Sir, who are you going to vote for?
CCB.
CCB is
Carol's Club Burger. The sandwich for very hungry people.
a vote for a club burger?
Have you ever tried a Carol's Club Burger? It's the people's choice for great taste and real satisfaction every time.
What party does CCB belong to?
All parties, but especially for very hungry people.
Join the victory rally every day at your nearest Carol's.
Suppose you join the Peace Corps and get sent to a faraway village that you think needs a bridge. What next? Well, next you convince the village leaders they need a bridge, get materials, help organize a workforce, and then keep the people so involved that they start to think it was really their own idea. That's important, because one of the most lasting things you can build in a Peace Corps country is pride. Write the Peace Corps, Washington, D.C.
We go to the top of the 6th inning. Mickey Mantle with a big grin on his face, talking with plate umpire Bill Kenneman at the plate. Waiting for Jimmy Price, who made that last out, to get his catching gear on. Mick singled to center in the 1st inning and fouled out to third base in the 3rd. Denny McLain into the windup. Pitch to Mantle. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. On deck, Joe Pepitone. McLain's next pitch. Bunted out and fouled right up near the booth here and just short of going in. Nothing in 2 on Mickey. Dick McAuliffe continues to play the left-hand hitters on the outfield grass. Now the 2-strike pitch. Curve low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Denny McLain, who since he switched to contact lenses, is really doing some job. He's won 8 and lost 1. Another curve. Mickey ready to bunt, takes it high. Mick was going to bunt with 2 strikes on him. It's 2-2. Nobody out, nobody on. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Mickey went after a low outside fastball. That's the 2nd strikeout for McLain. Denny is one of the top strikeout pitchers in the big leagues. That was his 82nd strikeout. Pepitone bounced out in front of the plate and then lined a single to right. Curve bounced slowly to first base. Freehan will have to throw to McLain. He does in time to get Pepitone. So it's 2 out. And it brings up Andy Kosco. Andy bounced to short in the 1st inning, hit into a double play in the 4th. Around the horn, 3rd to 2nd to 1st. Two out, nobody on. 1-0 Yankees leading, top of the 6th. Andy Kosco stepping into the batter's box. Andy was a doubtful starter today. As a matter of fact, Bill Robinson's name was in the starting lineup. But then Kosco went to Ralph Hawkins, said he was ready to play. He takes the pitch high, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, side-on fastball outside, ball 2, 2-0. He winds again. Strike called as he took a little bit off the fastball. 2-1 the count. Now McLain into the windup. Side-on fastball, foul back out of play. You hear the crowd moaning as the fan dropped the ball and came back down on the field. Very little room for the catcher to maneuver back here on foul balls. All right, here's the 2-2 delivery. High and outside, ball 3, 3-2. Getting ready for the payoff pitch. Here it is, and it's low, ball 4, and that's the first walk given up by McLain. And that's all he's been averaging in his ball games. That's only the 13th walk that McLain has issued this year. All right, here's Tommy Tresh. Tommy's 2 for 2, single to left and single to right. He has also stolen a base and scored the only run. Swings and misses, strike one. Tommy trying to score from first on Gibbs's double up the alley in left center in the second inning was cut down on a great relay and a fine tag by Jimmy Price in the second inning. Kosco leads away. Pitch to Tresh. A curve ground ball. McAuliffe to his left. Back on the outfield grass. Throws him out. Man, he was in short right field for that ground ball. So for the Yankees, no runs, no hits, no Tiger errors. One man left. And at the end of 5 1/2, it's the Yankees 1, the Tigers nothing. And here's a...
Once you get used to traveling on the Imperial Road, you'll never want to make a detour. That's the road that starts at your neighborhood Atlantic station when you drive in for your first tank full of Atlantic Imperial, the clean carburetor gasoline that helps keep your car running the way it was made to run. When you use Atlantic Imperial, you're on the road to smooth engine performance, because with every carefree mile you drive, Imperial is working to dissolve troublesome dirt deposits around the carburetor throttle plate. If you enjoy driving, see if you don't enjoy it more with Atlantic Imperial. Next time you fill your tank, drive into an Atlantic station and drive out on the Imperial Road to smooth engine performance.
So it's the bottom of the 6th. And Fritz Peterson rolling along after giving up a leadoff single to McAuliffe. He has retired 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 men in a row. He has walked nobody and struck out 2. Dick Tracewski leads off. Tracewski bounced to second base in the 3rd inning. We'll give you a complete rundown of all the scores at the end of this half inning. All right, Bobby Cox moves in at third. Peterson into the windup. Pitch to Tracewski is a strike call on an overhand curveball. Tracewski, a right-hand batter, stands close to the plate. Peterson's pitch is high, 1-1. Jake Gibbs doing the catching for the Yankees. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. First game of a twin bill. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside, ball 2, 2-1. Tony Cuccinello coaching at third. Wally Moses at first for Detroit. Peterson's 2-1 delivery. Foul upstairs and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That was a tough game that Dean Chance lost yesterday to the White Sox. It was his birthday and had a no-hitter going for 8 1/3 innings, and the White Sox got 3 base hits that weren't hit hard enough to break a pane of glass, but they did the job. They beat them 1-0 in the bottom of the 9th. The 2-2 pitch just missed the outside corner. 3-2. And now for the payoff pitch. Peterson nods his head, goes into the windup. Here it is, and it's high, ball 4. The first walk given up by Peterson after he had retired 14 men in a row. And here's Ray Oyler, who struck out his first time up. Mantle holding Tracewski at first base. Bobby Cox moves in at third. They're looking for the sacrifice. Denny McLain on deck. Here's the stretch by Peterson. The pitch is right down the middle, strike call. Tracewski leading away at first. Peterson checks him. Throw to first base. He's back. Ray Oyler. Now he's choking up on the bat. First time up right on the end. The runner's going. The ball is bounced foul. Tony Cuccinello picks it up in the coaching box. Nice play by Cooch. So they had the hit and run on. Now, we've been getting a lot of mail on why should they call it the hit and run when the runner actually runs before the batter hits the ball. Actually, it's just something that they've said for so many years. And you could say the run and hit, but it just doesn't sound right. But technically, it is the run and hit. All right, ready for the 1-2 pitch. Throw to first base. He's back. They could still have the runner going and the batter hitting, even though he's got 2 strikes on him. The stretch. The pitch, strike 3, swinging at a low curve ball. Strikeout number 3. And here's Denny McLain, fly deep to center field his first time up, and now the Yankees will again look for the sacrifice. With the potential tying run at first and 1 out, we're in the bottom of the 6th. Yankees lead 1-0. Peterson stretches. McLain squares, bunts the ball, foul down the first baseline. Gibbs up with it. Strike 1. So Mayo Smith trying to get the runner in scoring position. Tracewski leads off first. Here's the stretch. The pitch, he squares, bunts. It's a dandy. They'll have to go to first base. Peterson to Clarke. In time to get McLain, but moving to second is Tracewski. Perfect sacrifice bunt, 1-4. Pitcher to the second baseman. And this is the first time in the game that the Tigers have had a runner at second base. Here's McAuliffe, who has the only base hit for Detroit. He got that in the first inning. Then bounced to first in the 4th. On deck, Mickey Stanley. Once again, the sun pops out. It's been that kind of a day, in and out with the clouds and the wind blowing. The Tigers, who lead the American League by 3.5 games. Stretch by Peterson. His pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. A good fastball right in on the hand. Outfield plays McAuliffe straight away. Peterson stretches. His pitch is a strike on the outside corner. 0-2. McAuliffe fooled by that pitch. Just couldn't swing the bat. Mantle guarding the line at first and playing deep. Pepitone not too deep in center field. Tracewski leads off second. Peterson stretches, checks the runner. His pitch low and outside, dug out nicely by Gibbs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McAuliffe digging in at the plate with that unusual stance of his. Very stiff, open stance, weight on the back foot. Now the 1-2 delivery. Curve, line to right field, a base hit. Kosco coming in fast. He boots the ball. McAuliffe trying for second. It's thrown. Not in time, and he's safe. Andy Kosco trying to charge that ball and throw to the plate. Booted it. It'll be a single for McAuliffe. A run batted in. An error charged to Kosco, allowing McAuliffe to go to second base. Joe McAuliffe, offensively, has been the star. The only 2 hits off Peterson and has driven in the tying run. And here's Mickey Stanley, fly to right in the first, bounce to short in the fourth. Two men out. Kosco had a shot at Tracewski at the plate, but in his hurry to charge the ball, had it hit off his glove and kick away. And McAuliffe, who was hustling all the way, never broke stride and slid into second ahead of the throw. Pitch by Peterson is low, ball 1. So Mickey Stanley, who has a modest 8-game hitting streak of his own, is up there. He's also hit in 12 of his last 14 games. Two outs. The only walk that Peterson has allowed has come in to haunt him. Tracewski walked leading off the inning, and he scored. Peterson's pitch, line drive, base hit, and McAuliffe is around third base, coming in to score. Bobby Cox leaped for the ball. It hit his glove. It rolled into short left field, and the Tigers lead 2-1. A good try by Bobby Cox. Just couldn't come up with it. And Joe Pepitone gets up in the Yankee bullpen. You know, the Yankees, who have 7 hits, have been able to score just 1 run. Tigers, with their 3 hits, have 2 runs. Gibbs is out to the mound to talk with Peterson. And the batter, Jim Northrup, hit into a double play in the first inning, fly to center in the fourth. Two to 1, Detroit leading. Pitch by Peterson, a foul over in the Yankee dugout, strike 1. On deck, Willie Horton. And Peterson decides he wants a new baseball. Well, the Yankee 1-run lead is gone, and the Tiger fans are starting that rhythmic applause. Here's the stretch. Curved swing and a miss. 0-2 on Northrup. Real big crowd here today for this twin bill, and they're still coming in. Stanley leading off first. The pitch is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the sun is shining brightly. Stretch by Peterson. The pitch, line drive, off Mantle's glove, base hit. And around second, digging for third is Stanley. They wave him in to throw to the plate. Not in time. Throw to third, not in time. And Mickey Stanley scores all the way from first base on the double by Jim Northrup off Mantle's glove. And Detroit now leads 3-1. A little trouble on the relay in right field. Tony Cuccinello waving Stanley all the way in. There was no throw to the plate. Mickey cut it off and then threw to third to try and get Northrup. It was too late. And all that noise for Willie Horton. So the Tigers with 2 out come up with 2 singles and a double. Horton ground ball just foul, almost hit Northrup, but he was in foul territory. He had a leap high in the air, just missed going over the bag. 1 strike on Horton. Willie 0 for 2. He has a 14-game hitting streak going. Detroit having one of those years. Peterson steps off the rubber, bluffs Northrup back at third. There's the windup. The pitch outside. 1-1. Outfield deep and around towards left on Horton. Changeup fouled out of play. Willie trying to shoot to right field on an outside changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two men are out. 3 big runs in for the Tigers here. In the bottom of the 6th, they lead 3-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Horton. Peterson winds. His pitch, strike 3, swinging. He got him on that screwball. But the Tigers come up with 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 Yankee error, 1 man left, and at the end of 6 full innings, it's the Tigers 3 and the Yankees 1. We'll take a look at the other scores now. In the first game for Twin Bill, it's the Orioles 4 and the Red Sox 3 at the end of 5. Phoebus against Stang. Yastrzemski hit his 8th homer in the first inning. It's Cleveland 10 and Washington 3 at the end of 4. Ortega against Hargan. Hansen and Simone homer in that game. Simone with 2 on. That's the first of 2. Minnesota, Chicago for a pair. No score at the end of 2. Perry against Fisher. California at Oakland, the latest start. In the National League, it's Atlanta 3 and the Pirates 1 at the end of 4.5. Kelly against Wickersham. Stargill homered in the 4th. Chicago at Houston, it'll be Holtzman against Justy. San Francisco at L.A., a later start. The Cardinals leading the Mets 4-0 at the end of 3.5. Gibson against Jackson in the first of 2. And it's the Phillies 3 and the Reds 2 at the end of 3.5. Maloney against Wise. And don't forget, the second game of this doubleheader will be on radio only. There'll be no TV of the second game between the Yankees and the Tigers. For the the Yankees, it'll be Jake Gibbs, who has been up twice and double a left center field twice. There's some discussion. It was a double for Northrup and not a triple. Gibbs takes a strike. Here's the pitch to Gibbs, a curve bounce foul. Whitey Ford. Nice play by Whitey on a hard hit ground foul. 2 strikes on Jake. Tigers lead 3-1, top of the 7th. Gibbs choking up on the bat. McLain's pitch fouled back off the screen. Tried to slip the fastball by Gibbs, but Jake was ready. And McLain decides he wants a new ball. All right, the windup. Fastball is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Verbanek continues to throw in the Yankee bullpen. Peterson is scheduled to be the 3rd batter this inning. All right, now the 1-2 delivery. Foul, out of play, and back of the plate. We're in the top of the 7th. McLain winds. Slow curve over. Strike 3 call. Jake knew it. He was fooled on that pitch. Big overhand slow curve. That's the 3rd strikeout for McLain. And the batter is Bobby Cox. And coming on deck is Dick Hauser, who will bat for Fritz Peterson. Bobby Cox, who has popped to second and flied to center. Sidearm fastball high and away, ball 1. McLain has thrown about 5 of those sidearmers and hasn't gotten one over the plate. Changeup is over. Strike called. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. A curve is high. 2 balls and a strike. Almost a sellout here at Tiger Stadium for this twin bill. McLain's pitch, swing and a foul back to the screen. The count is even at 2-2. And McLain still wants a new baseball. He's got it. Now Denny ready. Curve bounce foul. Right in the Tiger dugout. Count holds at 2-2. Yankees had 2 hits in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the fourth. So there's 7 hits. Again, the 2-2 pitch. High, ball 3, 3-2. Now the payoff pitch. Drive to left field down the line and curving foul back into the stands. Deep in the corner, right alongside the 340-foot sign. 340 in left, 325 in right, 440 in dead center. But the power alleys aren't too deep here. 365 in left center, 370 in right center. And they have an overhang here in right field that extends out about 10 feet above the 325-foot sign. Again, the 3-2 pitch fouled back off the umpire's mask. So Bobby Cox making McLain work out there. The pitch hit deep to left field. Horton going back, and that ball is gone. A home run for Bobby Cox. A line drive into the lower left field seats here at Tiger Stadium. Bobby Cox getting his second home run of the year and making it a 3-2 ball game. And for Denny McLain, that's the 10th home run he's given up this year. Year in, year out, he leads the Tiger pitchers in allowing home runs. And Dick Hauser now batting for Fritz Peterson as the Yankees back in this ball game trailing 3-2. Dick batting 138. Swings and misses a fastball, strike one. One man out. For Bobby, his second home run, his 12th run batted in. McLain winds. Curve is low, 1-1. So Bobby Cox hung in there. Battled McLain on 3-2, fouling 3 off and then lining one in the lower seats and left. Sidearm pitch is over, strike call. Right now on New York Yankee baseball, we pause for station identification.
WGY Schenectady.
Dick Hauser on a 1-2 pitch bounces out to short. It's 2 out. And the batter now, Horace Clarke, who singled to center, hit to the box and flied to center. Tigers 3, Yankees 2 in the top of the 7th. McLain's pitch is fouled out of play upstairs. And again, McLain exchanges baseballs. Must be that same one that Kinnaman keeps throwing back, and McLain doesn't like the feel of it. Fastball popped up. The shortstop and second baseman. Oyler calls now and makes the catch at second base. The Yankees come up with a run on 1 hit. And the score now at the end of 6.5 innings, the Tigers 3, the Yankees 2.
Driving can become a wonderful new adventure when you go with Atlantic Imperial gasoline and follow the Imperial Road.
Atlantic keeps your car on the go. Atlantic keeps your car on the go. Go, you find the sky that is blue. Go, more pleasures waiting for you. Atlantic keeps your car on the go, go, go. Atlantic keeps your car on the go. Atlantic keeps your car on the go. On the go.
Go with Atlantic Imperial gasoline and follow your Imperial Road.
Well, we get ready to go in the bottom of the 7th. Bill Freehan bounced to third and fly to center field. Joe Verbanek is on the mound. Has taken over for Fritz Peterson. Fritz worked the first 6 innings. First pitch, bounce foul. Outside of third, strike 1. Peterson allowed 4 hits, walked 1, struck out 4, and allowed 3 runs. And now Verbanek doesn't like the ball that Kinnaman has thrown him. Here's Verbanek's pitch. Curve popped up. Bobby Cox in foul territory, backing up, and makes the catch. He backed up a long ways, but made the play in foul territory. The batter now, Jimmy Price, the catcher, bounced to third and lined to left. Joe Verbanek has won 2 and lost 2 this year. Been credited with 3 saves, earned run average 1.64. This is his 16th appearance of the year. His curve is over, strike 1 call. That makes Verbanek the man who has worked the most out on the mound of any pitcher. Side-on pitch outside. 1-1. That is not total innings, but in appearances in a game. 1 out, nobody on, 3-2. The Tigers lead in the bottom of the 7th. Curve is low, ball 2, 2-1. On deck, Dick Tracewski. Curve bounce to the second baseman. Clarke comes in to Mantle in time, and it's 2 away. And that brings up Tracewski, who started things with the only walk given up by Peterson in the 6th inning. Came around to score. 2 out, nobody on. The pitch is a check swing, base hit in a short right center. Trying to hold up on his swing and just dump one in a short right center field. Oh, you never can tell when you're going to get a base hit, when you least expect it. Here's Ray Oyler. Been up twice, struck out both times. Tracewski leads away. The pitch is a curve, full foul, and back out of play, strike 1. Mantle holding the bag against the runner at first. Verbanek stretches. Curve is inside, 1-1. Three to 2, the Tigers lead, bottom of the 7th inning. Verbanek ready. High foul. That's going out of play. It, but back into the crowd. One ball, 2 strikes. On deck, Denny McLain. Verbanek ready out on the mound. Tracewski leading away. Here's the stretch. Curve is pulled foul outside of third, and he broke the bat that time. And Oyler will have to go back for another one. Bat boy brings it out. Fresh supply of baseballs for Bill Kinnaman. And we're ready to go again. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 3-2, Detroit leads. Tracewski leads away. The pitch is low and away. 2-2. Baltimore still leading the Red Sox 4-3 in the 6th. Cleveland leading Washington 10-3 in the 6th. And at the end of 3 is the Twins nothing and the White Sox nothing. Cardinals leading the Mets 4-0 in the 5th. Curve hit down the left field line. White digging hard and makes a running, diving, one-hand tumbling catch. That saved a run. A beautiful play by Roy White in the left field corner as he dove and tumbled over. For the Tigers, no runs, 1 hit, no Yankee errors, 1 man left. At the end of 7, Detroit 3 and New York 2.
Tiparillo asked the American people what they thought of the world's first menthol cigar. New Tiparillo M with menthol.
Pardon me, sir, for interrupting you while you're watering your lawn there. How does the idea of a menthol cigar sound to you?
Menthol cigar?
Yes, sir. Sir, watch the hose. Sir! Excuse me, sir. May I ask you a question while your dog is looking over the rhododendrons? How does a menthol cigar sound to you?
Menthol cigar?
Uh-huh.
Sick 'em, boy.
Yes, sir.
After him, King. Kill, please, help.
Then we got wise and didn't mention menthol.
Sir, would you mind trying this great new cigar?
What's so good about it?
Well, here, let me just light it up for you.
Hey, that is good.
Good.
It's cool.
It's cool.
It tastes mild, you know. What's it called?
Well, I think we're going to have to call it the Great Taste. It sounds terrible. New Tiparillo M with menthol.
Hey, why are you so nervous?
All right, Roy White, who made that spectacular play to end the bottom of the 7th, leads off for the Yankees here in the top of the 8th. Roy White bounced to third, struck out and flied to right. McLain's pitch is low, ball 1. Well, they just made an announcement on the PA system, but you can't hear it here in the radio booth. Fans booed whatever it was. High ball 2, 2-0. Yankees trailing 3-2 in the top of the 8th. And those hot dogs smell good. Full foul, look out. Just bounced off the railing in front of the lower box seat. Kicks down the right field line. 2-1 the count. Mantle on deck with Pepitone to follow. There's a high fly down the left field line. It's foul. Let's see if anybody can get to it. And Oyler can't quite reach it after a long run. Just couldn't get to it in front of the bullpen of the Tigers down the left field line. So the count is even at 2-2. Oyler just now getting back to shortstop. He had a long run. McLain gets the sign from Price. The pitch, foul tip, held by the catcher. Strike 3. Strikeout number 4 for McLain, and here's Mantle. Mickey singled to center in the 1st inning, fouled to third in the 5th in the 3rd, and struck out in the 6th. And the first game of a doubleheader at Boston was called at the end of 5 because of rain, and Baltimore beat the Red Sox 4-3. Tracewski homered, Phoebus the winner, Stang the loser. That's a tough one. 5 innings of the first game. Must have really been raining there, because if we didn't get rained out while we were there and it was really pouring, sure must have been raining up in Boston today. High pop by Mantle, the second baseman McAuliffe. calling for it in short right field. He has it. Mickey carried the bat all the way down to first with him. 2 out, and here's Pepe. Joe bounced out in front of the plate, thrown out by the catcher in the first. Single right in the fourth, bounced out to first base in the sixth. 2 out, nobody on. Pitch to Joe, hit deep to right center field. That one's gone. Way back and in the upper deck. A home run for Pepitone ties up the ball game. A strange play by Mickey Stanley, who leaped on top of the lower fence. He must have thought it might come down. He'd have a chance. He almost broke his leg. But Pepitone home is deep in the right center field upper deck. And the ball game is tied up 3-3. And that's the 9th hit for the Yankees in the ball game. And here's Andy Kosco. Bounced to short in the first. Hit into a double play in the fourth. Walked in the sixth. Yankee left-hand hitters have not been able to take advantage of that friendly right field stands, but Pepitone did there. Foul out of play. Strike one. Patterson and Warden loosening up in the Tiger bullpen. Well, McLain can't keep away from those gopher balls. He has now given up 11 home runs on the year. Curve is low. 1-1. So the Yankees have battled back to tie it up 3-3. Curve low, ball 2, 2-1. Andy Kosco. McLain winds. The pitch is popped up back of first base. Freehan moving back, having trouble, and makes an over-the-shoulder catch. Boy, he had trouble with that high foul. But the Yankees pick up a run on the homer by Pepitone. And the score now at the end of 7.5, the Yankees 3 and the Tigers 3. Eddie Matthews. Eddie now with 512 lifetime home runs. Urbanek's pitch is high, ball 1. Steve Hamilton gets up in the Yankee bullpen. Urbanek's next pitch to Matthews, swing and a miss, and Eddie was going for the long ball. 1-1. Matthews, I told you, 512 lifetime homers. Eddie has been in 2 World Series with Milwaukee, 57 and 58. Pitch, ground ball to second base. Clarke up with it on the big hop over to Mantle, 1 out. That brings up McAuliffe. Singled in the first, bounced to first in the fourth, singled in the sixth. He has driven in a run and scored a run. 3-3 the score in the bottom of the 8th inning. One out, nobody on. There's a curve a little high, ball 1. Urbanek's next pitch. Swing, line drive to center field, in for a base hit. McAuliffe's 3rd hit of the ball game. And the batter now, Jim Northrup. Northrup hit into a double play in the first, fly to center in the fourth, then came up with a big double in the sixth inning to drive in a run. Check that. Mickey Stanley is the batter. Northrup is on deck. Stanley got a big hit in that sixth inning to drive in a run and then scored. He scored all the way from first on Northrup's double to short right. There's a pitch low and away, ball one. Mickey 1 for 3. Fly to right and bounced to short besides his single. One man out. Cardinals lead the Mets now 6-0 in the sixth inning. McAuliffe leads. Pitch, ground ball, bounce to Verbannik. He goes to second. One. Throw to first in time, and Tresh was taken out on that double play, but threw the ball as he was falling down. Didn't have much on it, but the throw was perfect, and Mantle with a big grin on his face saying to Tommy, how did you ever do it? Beautiful double play. Verbannik to Tresh to Mantle. No runs, 1 hit, and the score at the end of 8 full innings, the Yankees 3 and the Tigers 3.
At this time of year, almost all roads lead to summertime enjoyment, to the beach, to the mountains, to a pleasant evening in good company. And every road can be the Imperial Road, where the going is even more fun. When the miles roll smoothly away behind you, when your engine purrs like a kitten or roars like a tiger, responding to your slightest pressure on the accelerator. When you drive with Atlantic Imperial, the clean carburetor gasoline, then you're on the Imperial Road. Deposits around the carburetor throttle plate can take away the pleasure of driving if they cause your engine to stall, to idle roughly, or to waste gasoline. But only a few tankfuls of Atlantic Imperial will dissolve troublesome throttle plate deposits, wash them harmlessly away, and put you back on the Imperial Road, where the driving is fun again. Just ask your Atlantic dealer to fill her up with Atlantic Imperial, the clean carburetor gasoline.
A new pitcher for Detroit, a left-hander. John Warden, that's spelled Jon. His full name is Jonathan Edgar Warden Jr. 6 feet tall, 205 pounds. And at the University of Georgia. So far this year, Warden is making his 13th appearance of the year. He's won 3, lost none. An earned run average of 4.80. That's a pretty good record of 3-0 with that kind of an earned run average. He's pitched 15 innings, allowed 12 hits and 8 runs. But he struck out 17 in 15 innings of pitching, so that's where he's doing his work. First man he faces is Tresh. The pitch is high, ball 1. This is only the 3rd year of organized ball for Warden. 66 at Daytona Beach, 67 at Rocky Mount. There's a foul back out of play. He gets a lot of strikeouts. He had 174 in 66 and 196 in 67. The 1-1 pitch, low. 2 balls and a strike. We're all tied up here, 3-3 going into the top of the 9th. And another big ball game to go. Warden winds. The pitch is low. Ball 3. 3-1 on Tresh. John Wyatt starts loosening up for the Yankees. Verbannik is scheduled to be the 4th batter this inning. The 3-1 pitch fouled back, and Tommy was going for it. He got a good pitch belt high, but fouled it back. 3-2. Warden steps back off the pitching area to rub up the ball. So Denny McLain cannot get his 9th win of the year. He cannot get the loss either. The pitch line to left center field. Digging hard, Willie Horton. He can't get it. Bounces off the wall. Tresh around first, digging for second. He'll be in with a stand-up double. A line drive that hit the wall just to the left of the 365-foot sign. Tommy, now with his third base hit of the ball game, 2 singles. He had a stolen base, also scored a run. And for the Yankees, their 10th hit in the ball game. And the batter now, Jake Gibbs. Jake doubled a left center in the second, doubled a left center in the fourth, and struck out in the 7th. Now the Tigers have their men at first and third playing in, looking for the possible sacrifice. The score is tied 3-3 in the top of the 9th. Tresh leads at second. The stretch. Pitch to Gibbs. He squares, takes it low, ball one. Throw to second, and Tresh has to dive back head first. Ray Oyler leaning on Tresh's arm. They both got big grins on their faces. It's a tough play, as we've told you, for the runner at second. When the batter squares and starts to bunt at the ball, you've got to take that extra step towards third. And then if he takes the pitch and the catcher throws, you got to get back in a hurry. The stretch. The pitch, Jake squares, takes it low, ball 2-0. So let's see now what the Yankees will do. Little huddle with Oyler and Warden out on the mound. And Darrell Patterson, a right-hander, gets up. And the Tiger bullpen, Wyatt throwing for the Yankees. All right, 2 balls, no strikes on Gibbs. Here's the stretch. The pitch to Jake. He squares, takes it outside. Ball 3-0. Warden's got a good fastball, but he hasn't come close to the plate on these first 3 pitches to Gibbs. Bill Freehan walks over from first to talk with Warden. Here's the stretch. The 3-0 pitch right down the middle. Strike call, 3-1. Tresh leading away at second base. Here's the pitch to Gibbs. He swings a bouncer over the pitcher's head. Oyler one-hands it to throw in time to get Gibbs on a beautiful play by Oyler, but Tresh moves to third. A high bouncing ball that Oyler fielded on the first base side of second base. He nipped Gibbs, but Tresh goes to third, and here comes Mayo Smith. With Bobby Cox the batter, Mayo Smith is coming out. And let's see if that's going to be all for Warden. It looks like it. Yes, sir. He wants Darrell Patterson. That's going to be all for John Warden. As Patterson comes on, while Patterson's coming on, we'll take a look at the scoreboard. I told you, in a game called at the end of 5 innings because of rain, Baltimore beat the Red Sox 4-3. Phoebus the winner, Stang the loser. Yastrzemski homered in the first, his 8th of the year. So the second game of that doubleheader was rained out. Cleveland 10 and Washington 3 at the end of 6.5. Bertainer, Humphreys in the second, Ortega in there now for Washington, Hagen all the way for Cleveland. Simone homered in the first with 2 on Hanson in the third. That's the first of a doubleheader. Minnesota nothing and the White Sox nothing in their first game for Twin Bill. That's at the end of 3.5. Perry against Fisher. California at Oakland a later start. It's Atlanta 4 and the Pirates 3 at the end of 6.5. Kelly started, Cloninger in the 5th. Sisk started, Wickersham in the 4th, Klein in the 6th. Stargell homered in the 4th inning. Cubs nothing, Houston nothing, end of an inning and a half. Holtzman against Justy. Giants at L.A. a later start. The Cardinals 6 and the Mets nothing at the end of 5.5. Gibson for St. Louis, Jackson for the Mets. Simpson homered in the 5th with 1 on for the Cards. It's Cincinnati 5 and the Phillies 3 at the end of 5.5. Maloney for the Reds. Wise started, G. Jackson in the 5th. And right now on New York Yankee Baseball, we pause for station identification.
Hi, this is Joey Ducey. Join me for my telephone talk show, weeknights here at 810 on your dial, WGY Schenectady.
And now Darrell Patterson, who is 6'4", 195 pounds. Man, he's a big one. Patterson is making his 8th appearance of the year. He's won 1, lost 2. Earned an average of 3.21. He's from California. He was drafted from the Dodger farm system in 1964. He's another strikeout artist. He struck out 404 men in 505 innings in the minor leagues. This is his first year in the big league. And he'll be pitching to Bobby Cox with Tommy Tresh at third, 1 out, and the ball game all tied up. The Yankees 3 and the Tigers 3. Tigers scored all 3 of their runs in the 6th inning. Dennis Ryban gets up now in the Tiger bullpen. All right, Patterson is ready. The infield is pulled in for a possible play at the plate. Tommy Tresh at third. Bobby Cox, who popped to second, fly to center, and lined a home run into the lower seats in left field. In the 7th inning will be the batter. Six feet 4 inches tall. Pitching from a stretch position. Will not take the windup. Big run. Stretch. The pitch is. Patterson swinging his arm around. Takes plenty of time. Now he gets the sign from Price. Here's the stretch. Tresh leads away. The pitch almost hit him over his head. Ball 2, 2-0. And now McAuliffe comes in from second base to talk to the young right-hander. He's in a jam. He knows it, and he's trying to put a little extra on his pitches, and they're getting away from him. All right, Patterson stretches. Here's the pitch. Strike. He curved him on a 2-0 count. Showed me something there. 2 balls, 1 strike. Mets have come up with 2 runs in the 6th inning, and at the end of 6, it's the Cardinals 6 and the Mets 2. The 2-1 pitch, a curve outside, ball 3, 3-1. Urbanic is scheduled to be the next batter. Yankees have Charlie Smith, Rodriguez. Now we're set for the 3-1 delivery. Here it is, and it's hit on the ground. A short backhanded by Oyler. Throw to the plate. Safe at the plate. Safe at the plate, and what an argument now. Holy cow. A great play by Oyler, a great tag by Price, and Mayo Smith is out there kicking dirt and pushing. Look at that. Boy, that Mayo Smith is really going. Kicking the dirt around home plate. He is really hot. Price fired the ball down on the ground. Mayo kicking dirt on home plate. I tell you, Kinnaman called that play right away. Didn't take any time, and Smith is out of the game. Mayo Smith is ejected from the ball game. A great play by Ray Oyler, a fine throw, a good tag by Price, but Tresh, who broke at the crack of the bat, is called safe, and the Yankees are out in front 4-3. Mayo Smith, I've never seen him so mad. Man, he was bumping the umpire and kicking dirt. Price fired the ball down on the ground, but Tresh is safe. The throw was a little bit high. When I say high, about letter high, not a bad throw. Mayo Smith is thrown out of the game. It's an RBI for Bobby Cox, his second of the game. The Yankees lead 4-3. Verbanic's up there. The pitch is high, ball one, and that's the first time that Mayo Smith has been ejected from a ball game since he's been manager of the Tigers. Patterson chasing a piece of paper, but it blows off the playing field. Now it's going to blow back on again, and the bat boy runs out to grab it. So the Yankees go out in front as Bobby Cox gets credit for his second run batted in. Here's the stretch. The pitch is taken high, ball 2. 2-0. So Warden having a little trouble with his control. Patterson having a little trouble with his control. That run, by the way, was charged to Warden. He's the one that gave up the double to Tresh, so he is the pitcher of record, John Warden. And Verbanik, the pitcher of record for the Yankees. 2 balls, no strikes on Joey Squares. Takes a strike. He was taken all the way. 2 balls, 1 strike. Tracewski way in at third. Freehan comes charging in. McAuliffe goes over to first. He squares, bunts, and misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the Yankee bullpen really heating up. Bill Robinson is loosening up, along with Steve Hamilton and John Wyatt for the Yankees. Ryban continues to throw in the Tiger bullpen. All right, here's the stretch. The pitch, he squares, bunts it right up in the air. And Tracewski makes the play. 2 out. Brings up Horace Clarke. Horace singled in the first, hit to the box in the third, fly to center in the fifth, and popped to short in the seventh. 2 out, Cox at first. Yankees 4, Tigers 3, top of the 9th inning. See who the Tigers have coming up. In the bottom of the 9th, they have Northrup, Horton, and Freehan. All right, here's the stretch by Patterson. His pitch is high, ball 1. Bobby Cox at first base with 2 out. Boy, all these games so far in this series have been dandies. 1-0, 5-4 here. The Yankees are leading 4-3. The pitch is low, ball 2. 2-0. Patterson on the rubber now, gets the sign from Price. Bobby Cox leads off first. Pitch is line to center field. Stanley right there makes the catch. That ball was hit right on the button. But the Yankees pick up a run on 1 hit, no Tiger errors, 1 man left. And at the end of 8 1/2, it's the Yankees 4, the Tigers 3.
Fans, meet my fine feathered friend, the White Owl Girl.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, the last time I saw you was at the baseball awards dinner.
Yes, all the VIPs in baseball were there, and so many of them are White Owl men. Oh, they just man. Prefers the long, elegant shape.
Great. He finally made a good decision. I wonder if a White Owl could improve his vision, too.
They just might. You know, you get a lot more from a White Owl than just smoke.
Well, the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Yankees leading 4-3. Jim Northrup hit into a double play in the first, slide to center in the 4th, double a right in the 6th. He is driven in 1 run, so Joe Verbanik this ball game. The Yankees have lost two heartbreakers here, both by 1 run. The pitch to Northrup is high outside, ball 1. Hamilton and Wyatt continue to throw in the Yankee bullpen. Urbanek winds. Pitch is low. Ball 2, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a foul, and boy, he was going for that short porch in right field on that cut. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Bill Kinnaman is calling for time. He thought a ball had gotten away in right field. Time is called. And Bill Robinson's going to go back and get whatever it is that fell out, and it was a ball. How do you like that? Looked like a piece of paper from here. All right, 2-1 on Northrup. Urbanek winds. His curve is high. 3 balls and 1 strike. They're playing Northrup as a pull hitter, and he's got good power to left. 3-1 pitch, high ball 4. Willie Horton, the batter. Willie is 0 for 3, struck out twice, bounced to third, and listen to this crowd. The Yankees lead 4-3. Horton steps back. Northrup, good base runner at first base. Stretch by Urbanek. The pitch, a curved swing and a miss, strike 1. Willie Horton, 14-game hitting streak on the line. Mantle holding the bag against Northrup. Urbanek ready. He squares and bunts foul back off the screen, and boy, there's a switch. Having your number 4 hitter and power hitter with 15 homers and 31 runs batted in, going for the sacrifice. One swing of the bat, and this guy could end the ball game. And a fellow like Horton doesn't get too many opportunities to bunt, and it's not that easy. High, 0-2 the count. Northrup leads away. Here's the stretch. The pitch, almost a wild pitch. What a play Gibbs made. You had to see it to believe it. Urbanek came sidearm. The ball bounced about 3 feet wide of the plate towards first base. Gibbs had to leap for it and backhand the ball and knock it down, and kept Northrup from going to second. A big play by Gibbs. 1 ball and 2 strikes. All right, Northrup leads away at first. Urbanek stretches. His pitch fouled back upstairs out of play. Ed Horton had some cut at that one. Fans have really gotten their money's worth in this series. Tigers won the first game Friday night 1-0 on a homer by Horton or Stottlemyre. They won yesterday 5-4. The Yankees lead this one 4-3 in the bottom of the 9th. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Willie Horton. Nobody out. Northrup at first base. The stretch. The pitch. Swing and a miss. The ball was dropped by Gibbs, but he's out at the plate. The runner did not go. A big strikeout for Vabanek, his first of the game. And they got Horton 3 times today. And here is Bill Freehan, who's off the 3. Freehan bounced to third, fly to center, and popped to third. All right, Northrup leads at first base. Vabanek stretches. Pitch to Freehan, a curve low, ball 1. On deck, Jimmy Price. Here's the stretch. He steps back off the rubber. They've got Gates Brown in that dugout to pinch hit. Tough left-hand batter. Curve is over. Strike called. 1-1. One ball, one strike, one out. The Yankees lead by 1 here in the bottom of the 9th. Vabanek ready. Curve is just a little high. Gibbs thought that one was in. He stepped back and stepped right on the toes of Bill Kinnaman. Backed right into him. Thought he had that one, but it's 2-1. Bill Robinson has gone in to play right field in place of Andy Kosco. Pepitone in center, White in left. And they're deep. Here's the stretch. The pitch. Ground ball to third. Cox up with it. Goes to Clarke for 1. Back to first. Double play. Beautiful double play. Around the horn. Nothing across for the Tigers, and the Yankees win it in another thriller. 4-3. The totals in the ball game for the Yankees: 4 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. For the Tigers, 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. Vabanek the winner. He's won 3, lost 2. Warden the loser. He's won 3 and lost 1. The Yankees picked up a run in the 4th inning. The Tigers came back with 3 in the 6th. The Yankees picked one up in the 7th on a homer by Cox, 1 in the 8th on a homer by Pepitone, and the 1 in the 9th in the disputed play at the plate where Mayo Smith was thrown out of the game. So once again, the final score: the Yankees 4, the Tigers 3. And we'll be back in about 20 minutes with the second game of today's doubleheader. And now we return you to your local studio.